How is it you could possibly feel alone in a world where you're playing alongside 50 million other players? I know why you feel alone, and soon you will too. Final Fantasy XIV has at its peak estimated its population to be nearly 50 million players. People with various playtimes, geographical locations, languages, data centers, and servers, you would only see a sliver of these players. Let's acknowledge that this 50 million number could be incorrect. I'll link my sources in the description. But the fact is, even if there are 1,000, 100, or even 10 people around you, you should not be feeling alone. Has it always been this way? When exactly did you notice? Did you notice at all? Before we address these questions, allow me to share some of my process with you. A fair amount of planning and research went into production of what you are now watching. Hours of preparation, study, and editing were spent. I try my best to innovate, entertain, and improve every video, every time. And I hope this video finds you well. As noted in the Annals of Behavioral Medicine, a study was conducted by Dr. Louise Hawkley and John Cacioppo. The study, Lonliness Matters, a theoretical and empirical review of consequences and mechanisms, revealed that almost 80% of our waking hours are spent with others, and on average, time spent with friends, relatives, spouse, children, and coworkers is rated more inherently rewarding than time spent alone. Conversely, we perceive social isolation when social opportunities and relationships do exist, but we lack the capacity to harness the power of social connectedness in everyday life. I've been playing MMOs a long time, pretty much ever since the beginning. Who else can say they've been playing MMOs or even more narrow, MMORPGs for over 30 years? There are but a handful of us out there. I say this because so few really know what it was like before. It was something that had to be experienced. Simply telling you back then that things felt completely different doesn't do it justice. It felt as if people were more connected and closer than ever before. There was an overwhelming sense of appreciation for what the internet had brought into our lives. Younger generations are now born into it. Many only know the internet more or less for how it still is today. High-speed everything. There was this magical time where the characters I saw in game might as well have been people to me. Every day I log on and play with other people. I had questions, lots of questions, and so did other people. It was a time when you would hear someone was from another state or country and be amazed. There was a sense of pride when saying you were from somewhere. And if you saw someone with nice armor, you would have to ask this person. There was a small fraction of information available at that time. Camaraderie and friendship were everywhere. Your character had a reputation. Whether it be good or bad, it mattered. It was small town living. So fast forward to today. Typically, if we need something, the answer is a Google away. It would actually take longer to ask someone in game than to look it up. The information is probably explained better and is more than likely accurate. MMO populations were also drastically smaller. EverQuest was said to only have 1.35 million total players at its peak in 1999. The massive success of MMORPGs like World of Warcraft led to an insane boom in internet communities. In spaces where you might be one of the top 3 shamans on your server, you are now one of the top 300. Which in this example would still be awesome, it just doesn't have the same ring. We're all guilty of this, myself included. Time and time again, I will look up something because I'm too lazy to deal with asking someone, or I don't want to waste time with getting a...
Did he just smile at you?
I don't know.
Why is he smiling? Who are you?
response. It's as if we have water right in front of us, yet we're dying of thirst. I remember this like it was yesterday, and those days were better. I'm sorry for those of you who will never know, and I'm sorry for myself and the others who know and miss it. So how do we fix this? How can you feel connected to the people and the world in which you play again? It's simple. Talk. Or in most cases, type. That's right, I'm literally saying you will feel connected to others when we communicate directly. Studies show that by simply connecting with others, like chatting with fellow gamers or reaching out to people, you can actually improve your mental and physical well-being. It's important to tackle loneliness because it's not just about feeling down, it can have real long-term impacts on your health. So, while engaging in group activities can boost your mood and health, it might not completely solve the loneliness puzzle. So will you change the way you play? Or are you actually playing a dead game? Or maybe your community is just too toxic. Or maybe you just gotta change the man in the mirror first. Loneliness and, in contrast, connectedness are in your hands. We literally are choosing to not interact, only to feel disconnected and not understand why. It's my hope that after watching this, your behavior might change if you aren't getting what you want out of your MMO experience. A lot of online games, and Final Fantasy XIV in specific, could improve to help players connect, but until then, you have the power, you just have to use it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to thank you all for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so, and I'll see you next time.